Depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm 𝒐𝒗𝒆𝒓, and welcome to this comprehensive guide on implementing 𝒐𝒻 Trust cybersecurity. Today, we'll explore the key principles, requirements, and capabilities of 𝒐𝒻 Trust, providing you with a clear understanding of how to fortify your digital defenses in an increasingly complex threat landscape. Let's start with the evolution of security. Historically, cybersecurity focused on perimeter defenses, much like a castle with walls. However, the evolving landscape necessitates a shift. Imagine an organization with offices worldwide and employees working remotely. In a zero trust model, we acknowledge that the traditional perimeter is no longer sufficient protection. Challenges of enterprise security. Enterprise security faces multifaceted challenges. Consider the scenario where a user accesses corporate data from a coffee shop public Wi-Fi. Without robust authentication and network scrutiny, this poses a potential security risk. Zero Trust addresses these challenges by assuming no inherent trust and scrutinizing each interaction. Zero Trust philosophy. Zero Trust isn't about total skepticism, it's about careful verification. Imagine building trust like a cautious friendship. You don't immediately share all your secrets, you gradually reveal more as trust deepens. Similarly, in a Zero Trust, trust is earned over time based on user behavior, device posture, and contextual factors. The Zero Trust model. Zero Trust comprises three core pillars: identity, access, and response. Identity. In a Zero Trust, identity verification is continuous. For instance, multi-factor authentication, or MFA, ensures that even a password is compromised, an additional layer of authentication is required. Access. Granular access policy defines who can access what. An example is role-based access control, 𝒊𝑒𝑟𝑜, where permissions are tied to job roles. This ensures employees only have access to resources essential for their responsibilities. Response. Automation is crucial. Imagine an intrusion detection system detecting anomalous activity. In a Zero Trust environment, automated response can isolate affected devices or users swiftly. Implementing Zero Trust. Implementing Zero Trust involves strategic steps. Secure resource access. Use virtual private network VPNs, secure gateway, or Zero Trust network access solution to ensure secure access to resources. Least privilege strategy. Employees should only have access to resources necessary for their roles. For instance, a marketing team member shouldn't have access to finance database. Automate actions. In a response to a specific event, automate actions. If a device shows sign of a compromise, automated isolation protocol can prevent further damage. Inspect and log traffic. So, regularly inspect network traffic for anomalies. Logins and monitoring tools help in detecting potential threats. Key principles of Zero Trust. Let's elaborate on the key principles. No implicit trust. In a traditional model, once inside the network, trust is implicit. In a Zero Trust, trust is never assumed. A user accessing the network locally is scrutinized as much as someone connecting remotely. Strongly authenticate users. Users must prove their identity at every access attempt. Biometric authentication, smart cards, or one-time passcodes are examples of strong authentication methods. Strongly authenticated devices. Devices connected to the network must undergo rigorous authentication. This could involve device certificate, ensuring that only approved and secure devices gain access. Encrypted connection to resources. Imagine an employee accessing sensitive files. In a Zero Trust environment, this communication is encrypted, preventing unauthorized interception. Policy decision and enforcement. Policies dictate access. For example, a policy could say that only devices with the latest security updates can access to the network. Enforcement ensures compliance with these policies. User, devices, network, app, and data. Consider a scenario where a remote employee accesses a financial application. Zero Trust evaluates the user's identity, the device security posture, the network used, and the sensitivity of the financial data being accessed. Key requirements of Zero Trust. Let's delve into the requirements. Distinguish bring your own device and corporate devices. Bring your own devices may have limited access compared to corporate managed devices. This ensures that personal devices pose lower security risk. Explicit network resource access. No broad network access by default. Access is explicitly granted based on policies. For example, an employee connected to the network should only have access to necessary resources. Distinguish between different services. Access controls must differentiate between services on the same network. For instance, access to HTTPS should be distinct from access to SSH. Different data elements within application must have specific access controls. Financial data may have stricter access requirements than general company news. Log network traffic metadata. Every network interaction is logged with enriched metadata, providing a detailed record of who accessed what and when. Examine network traffic for security and data loss. Network traffic undergoes constant examination for security threats and data loss prevention. For instance, anomaly detection tools can flag unusual data transfers. Secure workload in the cloud. When transitioning workload to the cloud, ensure access control policies remain consistent with on-premise solution. Automation with identity-centric. Automation involves incorporation identity-centric details for efficient incident response. For example, an automated response to a compromised account could involve revoking access and initiating a password reset. Integrate logs into analytic tools. Logs are integrated into analytic tools, providing insight for dynamic enforcement. For example, patterns of access can be analyzed to detect potential security threats. Now let's move to Zero Trust Maturity Model. The Zero Trust Maturity Model outlines stages of adoption. The first stage is awareness. Organizations recognize the need of Zero Trust and begin evaluating its principles. Stage 2. Initial implementation. Initial Zero Trust measures are put in place, often focusing on specific areas like user authentication. Stage 3. Partial adoption. Adoption expands to encompass more aspects such as device authentication and access controls. Stage 4. Full adoption. Zero Trust is fully integrated into the organization's security posture, covering all aspects of identity, access, and response. Stage 5. Optimization. Continuous refinement and optimization to adapt to evolving the threats and technology. To start the Zero Trust, you need to know your architecture. Knowing your architecture involves understanding user identities, for example, and this enables accurate policy creation.
Device identification and health assessment.
Identifying and assessing the health of device connecting to the network. This ensures that only secure devices gain access. Assessing user behavior. Monitoring user behavior to detect anomalies. For instance, a sudden increase in access attempts may indicate a potential security threat, right? Policies for authorization everywhere. Policies are used consistently to authorize requests across the entire network. This ensures a uniform and secure access environment. Authentication and authorization everywhere. Every access point, whether on-premises or remote, involves a robust authentication and authorization processes. Visibility and analytics. Visibility and analytics involve monitoring traffic patterns, analyzing network traffic patterns to identify normal behavior and potential anomalies, user and device activity analysis, examining user and device activity log to detect patterns that may indicate a security concern, swift response to anomalies, automated response to anomalies such as isolating device showing sign of compromise to prevent potential threat from spreading, continuous monitoring, automation and orchestration. Automation and orchestration involve policy-based automated response, automatically enforcing policies without a human intervention based on identified threats or deviations. Coordinated security actions. Orchestration of security action across the entire environment. For example, if a compromised device is detected, orchestrating action to isolate the device and initiate remediation. Efficient incident response. Incorporating identity-centric details into automated responses for efficient incident response. For instance, automatically revoking access for a compromised user account. Good governance. Good governance involves clear policies and procedures, right? And establishing clear and comprehensive security policies and procedures that align with organizational objectives. Committed leadership. Leadership commitment to cybersecurity, ensuring that resources are allocated appropriately and security measures are prioritized. And then security culture. Fostering a culture where security is ingrained in every aspect of the organization, from employee training to daily operations. Strategic alignment. Ensuring that Zero Trust implementation align with the broader business strategy and goals. Zero Trust capabilities. Identity, access, response. Identity. Continuous verification of user and device identities. Trust is not a one-time event but is continually verified based on multiple factors. For example, the system prompts for additional authentication to ensure that user identity is legitimate. Now let's move to the second capabilities of Zero Trust, which is access. Granular access policy based on identity and context. Only authorized user and devices complying with established policies can access specific resources. For example, a contractor is granted access only to project-specific folders on the company server based on defined access policies. The last capabilities of Zero Trust, response. Automate action in response to security events. The system can detect and respond automatically to threats without immediate human intervention. For example, a malware detection tool identifies a malicious file. The system automatically isolates the affected device to prevent further spread. Achieving success in cybersecurity requires advanced technical skills, continuous training and upskilling in the latest cybersecurity technology and methodology, and also security mindset cultivation. Fostering a culture where security is everyone's responsibility, from the C-suite to entry-level employees. Then you have to remain adaptable to evolving threats and technologies, aligning security strategies with the organization's overall goals. Encouraging collaboration between IT, security teams, and the employee for a holistic and effective security posture. In conclusion, Zero Trust is not just a security model, it's a paradigm shift. By adopting a proactive and meticulous approach to security, organizations can build resilience against evolving threats while aligning with the dynamic needs of the business environment. Thank you for joining me in this deep dive into Zero Trust cybersecurity. If you have any questions or insights, please share them in the comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more cybersecurity insights and technology content.